Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm trying to take advantage of the relative morning quiet in the house to post another video here. I figure we'll continue our share in Mesillas Yesharim. So where we left off yesterday, we're continuing in the Akdama of the Mesillas Yesharim. The Mechaber, or Mechaber of the Mesillas Yesharim, had said that the way of the world is that most of the quote-unquote smarter people are not attracted necessarily to the study of mussar. They're not attracted to the study of what it takes to be a true Oved Hashem, to have true Yerushalayim. They spend more of their time on, so to speak, fancier, more interesting topics, pilpulim in halacha, intricate discussions in Torah, or maybe piskei dinim or midrashim. But the study of mussar and the study of Yiras Hashem, the study of what it takes to be a true Oved Hashem, that's not something that they're attracted to spend a lot of time studying. So who is it that studies these things? So the Mesillas Yesharim said it tends to be the quote-unquote the less smart, shall we say, people. He says they spend a lot of time studying mussar, studying Yiras Hashem, studying Avodas Hashem. Now the Mesillas Yesharim continues, and he says, "V'ulam taldais haminig hazeh." The outcome of this situation, rois ma'od, is terrible. It's very, very bad. La chachamim, it's bad for the chachamim. Ulavilti chachamim, and those that are less so, that are not such chachamim. It's bad for both groups. Ki goyrim, because it causes shemei ele umei ele yechsar hachasidus ha'amiti. Because it turns out that both the chachamim, both the very wise and the smart, and the ones that are less smart, neither one of them attain true chasidus. And like we said before, chasidus over here doesn't mean chasidus as in a satmar chassid, a chassid. That's what chasidus means here. Chasidus means true piety, true Yerushalayim. He says both groups lose out. Neither one of them managed to attain true chasidus. And it becomes very, very difficult to find true piety in the world. Because the chachamim don't attain it because they don't study it. Now, this is a very important point. Even a chacham is not going to come to true avodas Hashem and true Yerushalayim without studying it. The same way a true chacham is not going to come to understand all of the halachas of Hilchas Pesach unless he takes out a Masechtas Pesachim and he takes out a Shulchan Aruch. He's not going to really understand all the intricacies and the details of Hilchas Pesach. He's not going to understand what it means to have true Yerushalayim and to be a true Oved Hashem without studying mussar. So if the chachamim are not spending time on it, they're not going to attain that goal. They're not going to reach it. And the ones that are not chachamim, even though they are studying the topic, they also won't attain it. Because if you're not a chacham, you're not going to be able to truly understand it, and truly, even by studying it, somebody who's not a chacham is going to need help. He's going to need a rebbe. He's going to need svarim. He's going to need guidance in order to attain true Yerushalayim and to be a true Oved Hashem. So both groups lose out. The Chachamim don't get there because they don't try, they don't study it, and the Bilti Chachamim, the ones that are not Chachamim, don't get it because they don't have any guidance. Ad sheyedamu roiv b'nei ha'adam. What comes out from this, says the Mesillas Yesharim? Ad sheyedamu roiv b'nei ha'adam, until it seems to most people shachasidus tali ba'amiras mizmorim harbe. People get to think that, you know what it takes to be a true chassid? You know what it takes to be a true holy person, to be a person who is real Yerushalayim and a real Oved Hashem? They need amiras mizmorim harbe. They have to sit and say a lot of tehillim. Uviduyam aruchim oid. They have to spend a lot of time saying vidui, saying vidui, admitting all of their shortcomings and all of their averis. Tzoimos kashim. They have to have difficult fast days, utevilois karach v'sheleg, and they have to go to the mikveh in the ice and in the snow and in the freezing water. Kulam devarim asher ein haseichel noyach behem. These are all things that the mind doesn't accept. The ein hadas sheiketa, and a person in his knowledge, he's not comfortable with this. His mind is not quiet about this. He doesn't look at this and say, "Yeah, that makes sense." He looks at it and he says, "This doesn't feel right." So what's happening over here is that true Hasidus, true Yerushalayim, what it means to be a true Oved Hashem, is becoming corrupted. It's becoming corrupted because the Chachamim don't know what it is. They never studied it. The Bilti Chachamim, the ones who are studying it, they have a lack of guidance and they corrupt it. So what happens? Somebody looks and he says, "Oh, you know what it takes? Oh, him, he's holy. He's special." And somebody looks at him. He's emaciated from fasting. Um, he's sick from going to the mikveh in freezing cold water. He spends his day pounding his chest and saying vidui, and it starts to look like, in order to be a real Yerushalayim, you have to have a miserable life. Chas v'chalila. The truth is that this is a terrible chil shem shamayim. It's the furthest thing from the truth. The Torah Kedusha says, "Drachei darchei noyam." Its ways are ways of pleasantness. V'chol nesivos says shalom. A Torah life is supposed to be a wonderful life. And somebody is supposed to be able to look, and somebody is supposed to look at a person who has true Yerushalayim and who is a true Oved Hashem and say, "I want to be like him." Because it's supposed to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life. V'hachasidus ha'amiti, true chasidus, hanirtze, which is desirable, v'hanechmad, which is also desirable. It's something that a person should yearn for. Rachuk mitziur sichlenu. It becomes something that we can't even imagine, we can't even picture. Because without the real learning of mussar, without really learning this topic and understanding and delving into what it is, you're not going to know what it is. So you can't even picture it. Without studying the topic, you can't even picture it. You're not going to know what it is. Kized are pashut, because it's something obvious. Milsa deloy rami ale de inish lavadaite, something that a person does not place on his mind, something that a person doesn't give a place of importance to, so that he thinks about it and he delves into it and he studies it and he seeks guidance in it. Something like that, something, if he doesn't do that, lavadaite. So then he doesn't know what it is. It's not on his mind, he doesn't know what it is. Something that's not important to you, if it's something you don't spend time studying, you don't really know what it is. Here the Ramchal tells us something very, very important. The Ramchal tells us that you should know every Yid that is imbued with Kedushas Yisrael starts off life with Kvar Kvuim Belev Kala Adam Ayashar. It is already installed in his heart. Haschaloisav Yisaidoisav. We are pre-programmed with the beginnings of an understanding of what it means to have Yerushalayim, to be an Oved Hashem. The basic pillars, the Yesodais, the basic foundations of Yerushalayim, the basic foundations and the beginnings of what we need to grow, to understand the topic, are pre-programmed into our mind. What we need to do is we need to learn and we need to study and we need to hear from those that are greater than us in order to expand upon it and to attain the goal of what it really means. Im lo yasik behem, but if you don't study it, you're a prata v'lo yakirem. You won't even recognize the details. Yavar alev v'lo yargish bam. You'll transgress what it means. You'll pass by what it means to be a real Yerei Shamayim, and you won't even realize it. So I think the takeaway from this piece, and I noticed a comment there on Facebook, find a Chassidish Rebbe and learn Chassidus. Like I said earlier, when the Ramchal talks over here about Chassidus, he's not referring over here to Chassidus the way we typically use the term of Chassidus. Now, you wear a shtreimel and you wear a rekel. Chassidus over here means true piety, to be a true pious person, to come to real Kedusha, to know what it really means to have Yerushalayim and to be an Oved Hashem. So what we have to take away from this piece of the Ramchal, we have to remember that a real Torah life, a real life of Kedusha, a real life of Chassidus is a wonderful, wonderful, pleasant life. In order to know what it means to attain real Chassidus, in order to know what it means to have true Yerushalayim and to be an Oved Hashem, we must study the topic the same way we have to study any other body of halacha. You want to put on tefillin every day, and you want to know that you were yotze the mitzvah of tefillin properly, you have to learn hilchos tefillin. Before my children became bar mitzvah, I learned hilchos tefillin with them. You want to be a true Shomer Shabbos, like the Chavetz Chaim writes in his Hakdama to Chelik Gimel in Mishnah Berurah, it's not possible to be a true Shomer Shabbos without learning hilchos Shabbos. Otherwise, you're going to transgress Isurei Shabbos and not even know that you're transgressing Isurei Shabbos. You have no idea that the thing is awesome. So you must learn Hilchos Shabbos. You must learn Hilchos Pesach. You must learn Hilchos Matzah. You want to run a Seder and make sure that you mekayim all the mitzvahs halayla on Pesach night properly. Daled Kaisais, Matzah, Morar, Haseba, everything else. You have to learn the halachas. You have to at least take a Haggadah that gives you guidance and tells you what it is that you have to do. But nobody is going to think that you could be mekayim all of these things without having any guidance, without doing any studying, without doing any learning. Of course not. How could you possibly? The same thing with mussar. You want to be a Yerei Shamayim? You want to be a true Oved Hashem? You want to know that you're living every day and you're really serving your Creator? You want to know that you're really fulfilling your tafkid in this world, that you're really fulfilling the mission that you were put into this world to fulfill? You need to learn the topic. You need to learn mussar. I keep on repeating what they say over from Rabbi Victor Miller, Zechet Tzadik L'Vracha, who said that he was once asked by somebody who transgressed an Avera, he was once asked, should he fast to get kapara? Should he take on himself a tainus? We know that fasting can sometimes bring kapara. Rabbi Victor Miller told him it would be better you should learn Mesillas Yesharim 10 times. That would be better. Limud HaMussar is a tremendously important thing if you really want to come to Yerushalayim and to be a true Oved Hashem. Thank you so much for joining me for this Torah learning. The schus of Torah learning should be Megan and Gans Klal Yisrael. The Avarachim the Rabbeinu Shalom should have Rachmanis on everyone. Anyone who needs a refuah should get a refuah immediately. Nobody should become sick anymore. The Rabbeinu Shalom should take away all the tzaras. The Rabbeinu Shalom should check Yeshuas and refuahs. We should be zeichet to the Geula Shlema. B'mehera v'yameinu. Be well. Have a wonderful rest of your day.